The NBA schedule is officially out, and as if there was any question about how the league views this new look Philadelphia 76ers team, I think we just got our answer. The Sixers are going to be everywhere this season. And honestly, how could they not be? You've got Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, Jaylen Brown, VJ Edgecombe, and now LeBron James. On paper, this might be the most ridiculous collection of talent we've seen in Philadelphia in a very long time. But the schedule release also made me realize something. We can talk about how talented this team is all day. We still have to figure out whether or not all of these pieces actually fit together. So let's talk about the biggest game on this schedule, how the starting five is going to work, and the one area where I still think Philadelphia might need some help. But first, if you're new here, please like, please subscribe. I appreciate all your continued support. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I can't do that without all of you guys. With that being said, let's get right into the video. Let's start with opening night, because the NBA certainly didn't do Philadelphia any favors. The Sixers opened the season October 20th at Madison Square Garden against the defending champions, the New York Knicks, of course, and the Knicks will be raising their championship banner that night. We have to think about that environment. Madison Square Garden, banner night. It's going to be absolutely insane. Now let's see if the 76ers can, get some traction. And walking into that building is LeBron James for his first regular season game as a Philadelphia 76er. Jaylen Brown will also be making his Philadelphia Sixers debut. The starting five will be playing its first meaningful game together. There's no easing into this season. And honestly, it's probably for the best. If we're going to spend the entire offseason calling this team a championship contender, let's see what they look like against the defending champions immediately. We're really going to learn something about this team on day one. And then opening night is really just the beginning. The Sixers have 34 nationally televised games this season. That's a ridiculous number of games. But that's pretty much what happens when you build a roster like this and LeBron James comes to town. And there are two games that immediately jumped off the schedule for me personally. Christmas Day, Philadelphia 76ers going to Los Angeles. LeBron James returns to play against the Lakers. It's probably going to be one of the biggest regular season games of the year for the NBA, if we're being totally honest. LeBron's return to LA. And then on top of that, you got January 21st, Jaylen Brown returning to Boston. I'm actually surprised it's that late in the season, but Brown spent years in Boston, won there, and now he's walking back into the building wearing a 76ers jersey. You don't need to manufacture a storyline with this team. They're already everywhere, and it's ridiculous. Every game has a storyline. And this brings me to the biggest question I have about the Sixers. Forgetting about the schedule for just a minute, how does this starting five actually work? Because we're potentially talking about, obviously, Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, and Joel Embiid. That's already an absurd level of talent there. But as everybody likes to say, there's only one basketball. Someone's role is changing. More than likely, multiple roles are going to be changing. LeBron has spent his entire career essentially being a number one. He's done everything he's had to do to get the best out of his teams, but he's been one of the greatest offensive creators that basketball has ever seen. Maxey has developed into a player that's absolutely capable of running an offense all by himself, playing 40 minutes a game and just being insane. And Brown last year really settled into being the guy and, scoring the workload for a team, getting all the touches. And then with Joel Embiid, obviously the process, he's ran everything in Philly for so long. So the question becomes, who's sacrificing? Jaylen Brown has come out and talked about that. Said that he doesn't mind being the guy. He's talked about sacrifice, communication, and putting winning ahead of individual numbers. It's going to be crucial that he actually lives that as much as he speaks that, because I think everybody on this team is going to have to. Because honestly, you don't need all four of these guys trying to score 25 every night. What it has to be is for everybody's job to get easier, everybody has to have a role. Imagine Maxey not having to create everything for himself. LeBron initiating the offense, Maxey running around screens, using his speed to the basket. That's where Maxey has been his best. Imagine Embiid getting the basketball after LeBron has already forced the defense to rotate. I mean, what are you doing there? Imagine Jaylen Brown attacking a closeout instead of consistently having to create something from nothing. That's where this gets scary. The question isn't whether or not Philadelphia has enough for once in our lifetime. They obviously do. An overwhelming yes. The question is, whether all the talent on the floor can make each other better and gel properly. Because if they do figure that part out, this season could get really ridiculous and really fun to watch. And please don't forget about VJ Edgecombe, because there's that one guy in this starting five who is always at the back of the reports, almost the forgotten man because of all the superstars around him. VJ Edgecombe. And I actually think that might be perfect for him. The Sixers don't need VJ Edgecombe to come into this season and average 25 points. They don't need him coming out and taking 20 shots a game. They need him doing the things that made him such an exciting young player in the first place. Defending the ball, running, attack the rim, and then just hit your open shots. And think about who this kid gets to learn from. LeBron James. You couldn't create a much better environment for such a talented young player. And if VJ develops faster than expected, then this starting five becomes even more interesting. I do still have one big concern that just keeps coming up no matter how many things the Sixers do, and that boils down to what happens when Joel Embiid isn't playing. Because we know that managing Embiid throughout the season is going to be the critical piece to getting this team to the playoffs and letting them do what we know they can. And right now, backup center is probably the area where we all still have the most questions. Obviously, the 76ers have a Dembona, Ariel Hukporti, but when you're building a team with legitimate championship expectations, you just really wouldn't mind having another dependable veteran big man. Doesn't got to be another superstar. You've got Joel Embiid, and Philly has plenty of stars to go around. You just need to give me somebody who can rebound, defend, set screens, protect the paint, and give you 15 to 20 solid minutes a night when Embiid isn't available. That's really it. Sometimes the boring move is the move that helps you win a playoff game or a playoff series. So if somehow, some way the Sixers can make one more move before opening night, that's going to be the area I'm watching. Although I don't really expect it, but it would be nice to see. So that's what's going to make this season so fascinating. The expectations aren't hiding anymore. We're not bored wondering who's going to be healthy and what they're going to do for Embiid. You've got 34 nationally televised games. You're opening against the defending champs at Madison Square Garden. You don't really have to worry about the Boston storyline until January. It gives you plenty of time to develop and grow. LeBron going back to LA for Christmas is going to be wild. I can't wait to watch that. And Philadelphia has definitely put together one of the most fascinating starting fives in basketball history. We have to be honest about that. But now comes the hard part. We got to make it work. Because if LeBron, Embiid, Maxey, and Brown are willing to sacrifice, and VJ Edgecombe becomes the type of complementary player this lineup needs him to be, this team has an absolute ridiculous ceiling, and it's going to be championship or bust. But I want to know what you guys think. What's the biggest question you guys have about this Sixers team heading into the season? Is it how all these stars fit together? Is it Joel Embiid's health? Is it the bench? Or do you think this team is already good enough to win an NBA championship exactly as it's currently constructed? Let me know down in the comments. As always, guys, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for continuing to support the channel. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.